So in the documentary, the window of when that was happening there was around the time I was there.
Oh wow.
And so like I never knew that. Like at one point, without ruining the documentary, because this is like common known facts, the number one place to buy or to get OxyContin was in Saint Bernard in
Yeah, I
Louisiana.
think
It
they
was the
said that.
number one, also
Yeah.
the number one city for overdoses, and
Mhm.
so, obviously, right? And so it's like this makes way more sense. Like I start thinking back to my community. I'm like, I remember people acting weird. I remember my mom going to some shady places to do some shady stuff. And so it was weird like seeing it going like, damn, like I lived through this. So when I was watching the documentary, I was like, I was there, and some parts of that happening could have been, I can't confirm, like directly involving my life because maybe my mom was part of that either before pregnant or not. When you take drugs, it alters your DNA. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck what anyone says. I talked to someone recently, like, no, it doesn't. It for sure does. When you smoke a cigarette, the nicotine in it changes very smallly a part of your DNA. Your DNA is never the same. If you take acid, you're going to recover, but you will never be the same person you were before you took acid. Same thing with weed. It alters your DNA. Anyone that's been to school for this or looks up anything, it alters it. Some things more than others, but you're changing your DNA. Hence, if you're procreating, you're affecting your children. That's why people don't really know. Have you ever heard the term or phrase? And I know this working in the industry I work in. My son or daughter was born addicted. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
For the longest time before I knew, right? Like, what does that mean? Like, how do you get a born addicted? I now know what that means and I understand it better. It gets passed on, and literally, because I always thought born addicted meant like it altered their DNA and now their kid has ADHD, maybe, which is directly tied to the crack era. That's why they
Mhm.
say the crack babies from the 80s are a lot of their kids have ADHD. That's where the ADHD crisis came from. And so it's like with God, I lost my train of thought again. So with
Born addicted.
born addicted, but it really, literally, some kids, and I didn't know this until recently, the parents are on so much stuff while they're pregnant. So when the baby's born, it's already, and I say it's not to be disrespectful, boy or girl, the child is already having withdrawals.
Yeah.
So the child's born
That's why they call
having a
him crack
withdrawal,
baby.
and they have to medicate the child with things they would medicate an adult with that's having withdrawals. And that's crazy. And so when I always heard that term born addicted, I was always thinking like, I knew it was bad, but when I heard that, I'm like, that's really bad. That's crazy. Some people don't make it out of that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. When I said that, you kind of already knew that.
Yeah.
What do you know about it? Am I missing something? Because I may not know the full story. This is recently that I've learned about what that really means.
No, I mean I
Is
just
that
knew
what
it
I'm
was a
saying, right?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was a thing. I knew that especially if you are on drugs while you're having a baby, like they'll talk about it in the news and stuff that
Mm-hmm.
babies are born on drugs and you have to wean them off of them because if they just go cold turkey, then they're going to have withdrawal symptoms that are too hard
Mm-hmm.
for their body, especially with such a little body. It's fucked up though.